Hello, everyone. How are we doing again? So there's a bit more to talk about in relation to this. Just to say, I must be quite angry. I was taking off. I was putting on this top again because I was um, it felt very warm. I had the heating on there. I was taking it off. I broke the hanger. I had it hanging up and I broke the hanger. So I must be mighty pissed. Because I have to say I took off shorts hundreds of times. I never actually broke a hanger, and I put up my work clothes, etc., etc. Never broke a hanger in a must be. I never probably ever did. Like I just grabbed it. I think just the force of me grabbing it really annoyed me. To be totally honest, that just goes to show you, um, because I'm that annoyed. So that's what happened. So I can tell I'm very pissed because I literally took it off the hanger and I must have just grabbed it too hard and literally combusted. So that just goes to show I'm not too happy with the current situation um, that's going on at the moment. I wonder why, but that just goes to show you how annoyed I am at it. Because it is gone bean. I never seen the like of it. Like I don't know what to make of it all. It's quite insane. It's ludicrous. It's insane. I don't know what to tell you, but it's quite insane. It's just a joke to be totally on that whole out. So yeah, hopefully everything's working okay. So pretty much I'll be saying what I said earlier on. There's a bit more to it now, but we don't still know your man's name. Jesus, like he must be the man with no name, because nobody's able to tell who he is, where he is, and what is he. What is he? Is he a Finnish citizen? What's he? Nobody's able to tell us that for some reason, which shouldn't be the case. Give me a moment, Tommy. So I'm just reading through stuff here. No, it's crazy stuff now. But hopefully, I don't know if I don't take notifications of walking and stuff, probably because they know I'm not happy at the moment. YouTube probably like, no, we don't want him getting notifications and stuff. We don't want that. Should be fine now, hopefully. It'll probably go out at some stage. I know it's a Friday evening too. If it's yourself. And I suppose I'm just going to give it general. I didn't really know myself. I knew it was going to go live at some stage tonight. Early on, I put up that community post, but I didn't know exactly when. We get started in a few minutes anyway. But yeah, it's as I said earlier on. It's I don't know what to make it of. It's just crazy stuff. It's crazy. It's absolutely mad what is happening. Probably had to restart. If the notification doesn't go out, I'll probably have to restart. So you probably were too early. 7 o'clock would have been probably better, but sure, look at. We're here now, I suppose. That's the main thing. there's other stuff like, geez, we'll be live tomorrow night too. We'll be live every night. Like, we still have to talk about a good few things. Just look at it. Like, there's other lists here I have to talk about other stuff. But sure, this thing is crazy. It's ludicrous. Hello, Tony. Good evening. How are we doing? Hope we're well. Hope we're having a good Friday so far. But yeah, it's ludicrous. Did you get a notification? Hello, Fiona. How are we doing? Did you just get notifications? Because I think the notifications might be fucked. It's probably because I give that fuck in the last video. Like, I literally give that fuck, and I'm going to give a fuck here again. So I say YouTube's like he's not having any of it today. I say YouTube knows that they're in for, no, not YouTube itself, but they know who. I'm not very happy. Let's put it that way. I don't think anybody is, but we chat among ourselves anyway, because I'm going to go on and on and on for about an hour or two. I'm just going to not shut my mouth for about 2 hours. So, so yeah, Andy, because I probably be affected for about an hour. So if you have anything to say, it's always better to say now, because I won't shut my mouth probably for now. I think notifications it's done for some reason. Take every banjo. But yeah, we were supposed to do a gaming live stream tonight. I know people probably asked me that, but obviously things happened. And that's why we're here pretty much. Things have happened over the last few, like this morning, early this morning, of course, and then throughout the day. So we kind of have to cover that. We couldn't really go do game and stuff with this happening in the background. Like, it's another crisis, would you believe? we're talking out of crisis. I said the other day, oh yeah, we're back to political videos and stuff like that. Oh yeah, 100% loving that, and then all of a sudden we're in another crisis. We're not personally in another crisis, but having to listen, having to see Gone stuff happening. Let's put that way. I don't know if anybody, probably people don't know even what I'm talking about. I wasn't too descriptive in the title. I don't know really how to put them in the title. So, how you. I'm not bad, Tony, anyway, apart from what I'm about to talk about. But you've probably seen the community post. I presume he's probably have. I don't know if he's have seen the community post. What you mean? Yeah, well, give me a second. We explain. I just wait a few more minutes just for if other people come in, because as soon as I start waiting to see everybody come in and be like, "What is this? I didn't know about this and all that." Oh, this crap. Like, I went live earlier on. As soon as I went home, like, that's how serious it was. As soon as I went home, I went live and done a video. I didn't even get in the door before I even put on the computer, because I was that quickly just on doing the video. So yeah, I'm basically going to go on. I hope you have a good while tonight, because I'm going to go on for a long time. Later on, there's a lot to be said, so in relation to it. We'll give it another minute. You just didn't get notifications, because I can tell by where the because usually it sends me a notification. That's how I know notifications are, but it didn't send me a notification. So I presume YouTube's not happy with me over what I said in the last video. See, if you watch the video later on, I'll probably go all over the place here on the live stream. It won't be as organized probably as the video. Yeah. Let's see. All right, I suppose we get started now, so people can, walk in along the way. Up here. So I don't know if the people see this. Pretty much, it's, as I say, it's the top thing in Finland, nothing else. It's coming close to this. Obviously, Sandemau and stock. I put it up this morning. I only knew about this 2 days ago, I suppose, when I first heard about it. This was happening, and that it was going to court, etc., etc. Well, for restraining order, it's not like a court. It's just looking for a restraining order, which is mighty stupid, if you ask me. That the drag go into the court because, as I put up just there a few minutes ago, the judge said she have to attend court this morning to look for the restraining order, which was mighty stupid in the first place. It's only a restraining order, it's not a court case. She only had to ask the judge for a restraining order. So basically, this was all hundreds of photographers, hundreds of press, like ludicrous stuff. And the 36-year-old man, that's all. We don't know where, you don't know his name, we don't know where he's from, we don't know anything, but he's just 36. And no, the thing about it is, and I said in the video, you can see Sandra Mowen just here, like she's the victim in this crime. She's not stalking anybody. So she's the victim in this crime. And as you can see, the victim is literally out in the open. And you probably wonder what this wall is. You'll see in a few minutes. Just bear with me. So pretty much this fellow was stalking us since the beginning of December through Christmas Eve, and they attempted to break into a house around Christmas Eve. I didn't know about this when she was in Dublin here, so she obviously had that on her mind when she was here in Dublin. I didn't know about it, but I only knew about it 2 days ago, as I say. Hello, Johnny, how are we doing? But so he attempted to break in and stuff. Obviously, he's not in court for that yet. He's only in court for a restraining order. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But it's until next year. So this fellow too is as I say, we only know the back of him. The woke showed the front of him. The media woke showed the front of him. So he seems to be a non-national. He's not a Finnish citizen. As far as I can get, he's not a Finnish citizen. He's from Pakistan or somewhere like that. He's not a native Finn. So they won't show him because he's an asylum seeker, he's a refugee or something. That's why they won't show him. So that it's insane what they've done. And again, especially because he has a history. He physically went to her a few times. He didn't touch her or hurt her or anything like that. But pretty much approached her many, many times, like literally stalking her wherever she went. Though it's very disturbing. Like you just see in the court too, like as I say, it was a lot of hassle. She shouldn't have been in the court in the first place, especially being the victim. So you're probably wondering, what's this? So Sandra Mowen asked for this to be put up in the court because imagine she had to go to court to ask for a restraining order against this person so he wouldn't go near her. So they put this up because they made her go to court, first of all, the judge, to get it, which is stupid. Like, she shouldn't have to go to court to get that. But so basically, they wanted her to go into the same room as this person who was literally stalking her, which is fucking stupid. And not to mention, as you can see, all the photographers, like literally there's an army of photographers and press and stuff like that. And as you can see, Sandra Mowen's the victim. She's here on her own. Like, she's literally on her own, nobody with her, nobody at all. She's on her own. And you can see that she's nervous too. Like, you can tell by looking at her, she's very, very nervous. But this is the person that, the person that caused all this, the person that's stalking her, and the person that tried to break into her house and tried to do whatever he intended to do to her, or a small child that was there at the house on Christmas Eve. This is the fellow. And you probably wonder who this fellow is. It's not a lawyer, it's an interpreter paid for by the Finnish taxpayer because he can't speak a word of Finnish or English. As far as I know, he can't speak Finnish. He can barely speak any Finnish. So he's a foreigner. He can't speak Finnish. So this is an interpreter paid by the Finnish taxpayer. And obviously get free legal aid if it goes to court and all that. But he's not even been sent to prison. He's pretty much allowed to go back out in the streets of Helsinki in Finland. And he's been protected because he's a foreign national. And simple as that. There's no other way to put it. And I automatically what's the West me she can. But that's the only reason why he's been protected. He's a foreign national. That's the only reason why he should have no at all whatsoever anonymity. As simple as that. Whatsoever. Shouldn't be this. And all the photographers there, you can see they're all worried about Sandra Mowen. Nobody's focusing on him. So it's totally wrong. It's totally all fucking wrong. Excuse me. Hello, 420. It's all totally fucking wrong. Like, it's totally all fucking wrong. Excuse my language, but it is fucking deadly wrong. Like, she shouldn't have to been there in the first place. And this fucker here, he should be sent home to wherever he's come from. I don't know. He's not. Yes, he's a Finnish citizen, but he should be, at the very least, he should be going to prison for this, to be totally honest. And he has a history of this. I'll show you in a second. But see, they're always focusing on her. And her on her own, you can see that she's nervous. You can see that she's very focused, etc., etc. But it's not right. It's not right that she had to go there. And the circus around it, like there was hundreds of photographers. Like you think God only knows. Like the amount of photographers and press was insane. And this poor woman that was being stalked by this man for the last month, and then tried to break into her house, tried to force entry into her house with her small child there, and putting her through this charade, it's bullshit. Like it's bullshit. And the fact that they didn't imprison him or anything that, he's allowed just to go back out. The only thing they have on him is a restraining order. If he goes near her, he's going to prison. But that's it. And all the media are focusing on her, and nobody's near the other side of it. They're all protecting your man. It's insane. Like they're all worried about Sandra Mountain. Like they're all taking photos of her. Like, it's insane. Like it's fucking ludicrous. Excuse my language, but it is fucking ludicrous. And especially because they won't even say his name. They won't even they won't even show his face. They won't show his name. They're only saying he's 36. That's all. He's a 36-year-old man. That's all you need to know. And that's about it. So he was arrested near Sandra Mountain's house on Christmas Day. And the police give the temporary restraining order because it was temporary. So, because that's why she's there to get a permanent restraining order for the year. The police could only issue a temporary restraining order against them. So which was only a few weeks. And then she had to go to court to get it. But she shouldn't have had to go in the first place. That's my whole point in it. It's a lot of fucking bullshit. And he probably will go and do it anyway. I don't hope he does. I hope somebody finds him and deals with him that way. But that's the only reason why they're too afraid to show his face. The Finnish media should be ashamed of themselves. They won't show his face. The only reason why, because people will find him on the street, and he would need the police then, I suppose. But that's the only reason. Look at all the photographers blowing his face and stuff. They won't dare show his face. Like it's a disgrace. This is a disgrace. And him with his fucking pig trat suit. Whatever. I don't know what kind of bollocks he is, but he's fucking going in with pig trat suit to court. He's just acting the cut. That's all. Excuse my language, but that's what it is. Like the fucking judge should have sent them to prison and fucking sent them home. If you don't excuse my language, but like this fucker deserves nothing. Like he deserves not to have anonymity. He probably doesn't even fucking walk. Excuse my language, but I'm not. Lucky I'm not in that court with my fucking tell that judge. Because he has a history. It's not like he's an upstanding citizen, that just wanted Sandra Mountain's autograph or something like that. Not like that. The man literally received a total restraining order in 2023 for threatening to kill a woman or child. This is a different situation. So he has a history of this, and he was threatening to kill his ex-partner. So he has 2 records in Finland since he's turned up. So he threatened to kill an innocent woman and her child. Imagine a 30-something-year-old man threatening to kill a small child. Think about that for a second. And how he wasn't in prison, how he hasn't been sent home, it's beggars belief. Because he came to Finland and done this. He went and threatened she was a nurse. So he threatened a nurse and a small child. Imagine a man doing that, a 36-year-old man. Imagine that. And didn't go to prison for it and still allowed to walk the place. And, threatened, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's insane. And the threats were considered serious. It wasn't like there was empty threats. And this fellow was allowed to just go around Finland for the last few years doing this. And now he's done it to Sandra Mountain. And God takes me to God, nothing happened. But as I say, he shouldn't have been out there in the first place. He should have been either sent home in a prison cell. Simple as that. And he should be in a prison cell now as we speak before he's deported. It's insane. I don't know what he is, but he's a bollocks anyway. That's all. Excuse my language, but where was the true Finns? That's what I'm saying. Where were they? Where's Wika with deportations? Because this fellow's already committed trouble. It's not his first offence. As you see here, he's done it to a woman. Imagine the 30-something-year-old man going around threatening children. Think about that for a second. Think about that. Sit there and think about that. The judge, somebody should have told that fucking judge that was sitting there arsing about in that fucking courtroom. So some of the press and someone should have stood up and said, this man has done this before. And he tried to get into Sandra Mountain and her small child. Somebody from the press should have stood up and said to this judge, that's totally wrong. He should be going to prison or being sent to wherever he came from. As simple as that. At the least, he should have been sent to prison and not let out for a year or two. But nothing was done about this. That's what I'm saying. He got off with it. And now he's done it to the former Finnish Prime Minister. And God forbid, nothing happened. He didn't get into her apartment or into that. Thanks be to God he didn't. But he's no apology into that. Having his fucking meal in the court. Excuse my language, and blowing his face. This is the worst thing. The Finnish media should be ashamed of themselves. Because the public should know. Because this man's walking around Helsinki and could do it to another woman. Think about that. I don't think the judge thought about that. That he could do it to another woman. If he'd done it before, he'd done it 3 times before, he's willing to do it again. Let's put it that way. If he'd done it before, he hasn't learned his lesson. No apology. He didn't issue an apology saying, no, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Nothing at all. And him with his pig fucking tracksuit. Excuse my language, but this is a joke. And having to bring Sandra Mountain in too, into the courtroom, and her having to ask in the first place for a barrier to be put up because it must have really upset her and frightened her. But just in the first place, having to look for a barrier too, that they didn't even they wouldn't even bring them in separately. They wanted them in the same room. Like the justice system is totally fucked. Like that's totally wrong. Regardless if she's the prime minister, I would say the same even if it was an only Finnish citizen. That's totally wrong. It's unacceptable. And the fact that this fellow is allowed to waltz around Finland here at the moment in time. And total anonymity. We don't even know his name. He's 36. That's all we know. We don't know where he lives. We don't know how long he's been. Is he a Finnish citizen? What history did he have before he arrived in Finland? Nothing like that. So I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of the judge. And then her partner, her person that she's in a relationship at the moment, the judge scolded him for being in the courtroom with her. So pretty much she had to sit there alone in the courtroom because the judge scolded her, like her boyfriend, for being there. And told them to go out. Like the judge, I don't know what kind of fucking bollocks he is, but he's a bollocks anyway, whatever. But that's what I'm saying. She sat in the row and he had in the top with her there. Like they're protecting them. Like they actively are protecting them. That's what it is. They actively are because they know people will see him on the street and give him a piece of their mind. And so they should. And that's what should be happening in this city. The members of the public be going up and shouting in his face and telling him that he's a lowlife. Because he's nothing more than a lowlife. And he should be gone. He should be in prison. Simple as that. He should be. If right was right and wrong was wrong, that's as simple as that. And especially going in when her young child was there on Christmas Eve too. There's no excuse for it. No excuse. So I don't know what kind of fucking bollocks are sitting on the benches in Finland, but they're totally bollocks. Yeah, not like this is the thing too. It raises this question too. There was nobody there. Like she walked into her apartment. There was no police. There's nobody guarding though. There's no security or anything. So that's the thing. There was no police or security or anything. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a danger. He's done it before. It's not like it's the first thing that he just randomly done it. But Sandra Mountain, it seems like Sandra Mountain like met him, as it says here. I don't know where it is from Yale. He approached her several times throughout the month. Like this is through December and stuff like that, and Christmas, and then went to her apartment on Christmas Eve, and the police got him. And they let him out. That's what I'm saying. They took him into the police station, then they released him. Even though he was trespassing on her property and tried to push the door in on her to get into her apartment. There was no police or anything. Like there's nobody there protecting her. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what I'm saying. Like not even a police officer or anything like that, or like there to protect her or anything like that. So that raises questions too about that. So no, but it's total bullshit, and especially because again, Santa Maria. I knew this would when I heard about this 2 days ago. I knew it would be a circus. Like I knew it would be a circus. And that it was going to be a circus. I knew right it was going to be. Like anybody could have seen it could becoming a circus. Yeah, it should be anonymous until he's charged. Well, he's done it. No, I don't think he should be anonymous. No, because it's simple as that. Because he, at the end of the day, he shouldn't be. Simple as that. Because you've seen all the public, like he's getting off scot-free. And the only reason why he's a foreigner, that's the only reason. Simple as that. They wouldn't put his name and they wouldn't put his picture in because he's a foreigner. He's not walking. He's not doing anything. He's just claiming off the Finnish state. And the reason is the victim has to go through hell. Like every newspaper, it's whole picture on it, not him. And the fact that too, he's a danger to society too. You have to think about that. Like this fellow's allowed to walk. It'd be different if he went to prison. You could argue then it's not really relevant. But he's just allowed to walk around Finland now. He could do it to another woman. As we speak now, he could be stalking another woman. He could be doing it to Santa Mountain again for, That's what I'm saying. So I do think the public have a right to know. And particularly that nothing was like that he'd done this to the former Prime Minister of Finland. And pretty much fuck all was done about it. In the nicest possible way. And then this, Sandra Mountain had to go through this, like, on her own. And then they scolded her boyfriend for being there, the judge, and stuff like that. And he sat there with his interpreter. And there was a lot of money, too. Like, I can't remember how much they said for the interpreter. Because the Finnish taxpayer has to pay for it, But it's totally wrong. It's totally wrong. Because, you see, this is what was one in every newspaper in Finland at the moment. Every foot page, like, this is the foot page in every newspaper in Finland, everywhere. is this. And it's not right that the victim, this Santa Marin's the victim, this is the perpetrator that could have done God knows what. Or if he could have got in, he could have attacked Santa Marin, he could have attacked her child. Who knows what else he said to Santa Marin that time when he was there trying to push in the door, because it's definitely him, because they have CCTV evidence, they have witnesses saying they've seen him there pushing in, they have neighbors saying they've seen him there. He's pretty much the fellow that they're looking for. They know who he is. And the fact that Santa Marin has seen him multiple times, stalking him, coming up to him in public, etc., etc. And that's not illegal in itself, but he done it literally for a few, multiple times, every time she left her apartment, etc., etc. But this is not right, because again, this is the fellow. He's in anonymity. Santa Marin is the victim. You can see that she is deeply. You can see she is upset. She might not show, but you can see she's upset, and especially all the photographers there. They're not photographing him. They're blowing his face, but they're all there taking photos of his head, and it's all the newspapers are one whole face in the front of it. And it's not fair, because again, she's the victim. She didn't say to you, man, come to my house and bang my door down and stuff like that and come and stalk me. She didn't ask them. She didn't ask him to do that. And she did. I'm sure she didn't want to, because she asked the judge yesterday, and the judge said, if you want a permanent restraining order for a year, you have to come to court. Even though it shouldn't have been the case, because I could see this before it even came to court, that it was going to be a media circus, and so it is. Poor Santa Marin has to put up with media circus for a few weeks over this, because literally nothing else in Finland. A bomb could go off in Finland and nobody would care. This is the main thing, But I don't think it's karma. He's probably there a longer time than Santa Marin was there. He's probably there since he was in his teens, for all I know. But the fact of the matter is, still, if this was an only Finnish woman, we probably never hear it was only because of the Prime Minister and stuff like that. But he shouldn't be there in the first place in Finland if he committed crimes before. He should have been deported. I presume he's not a Finnish citizen. I'm trying to find that out. The media won't tell us is he a Finnish citizen. They won't even tell us his name. They won't even tell me where he lives or anything like that. But this is as this person said, everybody knows who she is, like the Prime Minister, and it's pretty it is pretty twisted. It is a pretty fucked up situation. They're telling everything. They're all focused on Santa Marin, when they should be focusing on this cretin that started all this. The victim is presented publicly, name and face, in the harasser with a picture. He's been defended. He's more been defended than Santa Marin. You can see her there and stuff like that. If anything, this should have been a closed session, that she wouldn't have been there, the press wouldn't have been there having a field day. That's what I'm saying. Because it's unnecessary stress. It really, really is unnecessary stress. And Santa Marin went through it. And we probably only heard her half. God knows what he said to her. Especially because she asked for this, so she must be pretty upset with whatever he said to her. And God knows, he could have said that he could have threatened to kill her child in front of her child. So we don't know. Again, he seems like he's an animal. He's not a human, he's an animal. He should be treated like an animal, to be totally honest. But it's totally wrong. And hundreds of again, you imagine you being in Santa Marin's position, you being the victim and stuff like that. And over this side, there's hundreds of press, hundreds of photographers, hundreds of news cameras, just all focusing on you. Nobody this side. Not one of them went that side to look at the defendant. They were all focused on Santa Marin. That's what I'm saying. It's not right. Simple as that. I would say the same if it was an Irish citizen in that position too. The victim shouldn't have to go through hell and back to do that. That's as simple as that. It's just the plain truth. Just speaking of this, at least in fairness to the Northern Sound here, this was in Monaghan. There was a series I saw over the weekend in Monaghan. But they named the people straight away. They were like, this is the person. They live in this area of Monaghan. They're from here. They're this, that, and at least they said it. Over here, they're in Finland. I will show this later on in the community post. They're like the man at 36. No name, no where he lives. He's from Pakistan. He's from here. He's from there. Just the man at 36. That's all. That's all you need to know, the Finnish public. Is the man at 36. We shouldn't tell the public that this fellow, could do this again, because he could. He done it before. He's going to do it again, and he pretty much got out. He pretty much is not going to prison for this. He should be going. He should be. I would do worse to him if I could. But it's insane. And as it says about her boyfriend being removed from the court, etc., etc. A special arrangement was made that she wouldn't have to face her attacker, etc., etc. Her boyfriend wasn't allowed in. It was removed from the judge. It's totally wrong. More. It seemed like Sandra Mountain was more on trial than fucking the other fellow. Like it's totally wrong, especially the media circus, because every fucking news company in Finland, it's on every newspaper, every magazine. It's just insane. It's been blown into fucking proportions. Like it's not very fair, you know. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's raises the question too, that there was nobody there that had to wing the police. You know, they had to wing the police. There was nobody there, you know, police. Because again, she's the ex-prime minister. She should probably have somebody, because she's in an ordinary apartment. Like again, she's in an ordinary apartment. She's not in the big house away from everything. She's in an ordinary apartment in Helsinki. You know, that's what I'm saying. There should be somebody, you know. That's the question too. There should be somebody, because if he did have a gun around that, you know, there wouldn't have been anything anybody would he could have done. But then, you know, all that, but he didn't get in. Thankfully, he didn't get in. But again, he tried to push the door in, and not to mention he stalked her for weeks and all that. And then obviously his history before threatening to kill women and a child. He's not the nicest fellow to have around the place. And he shouldn't be in Finland. The first, he should be sent home, and that's my opinion. If he's not a Finnish citizen, send him home. Simple as that. Send him home, because that's the solution. Instead of restraining orders, send them home and not to come back. And I go to prison for that if Helen actually wants to put me in prison. But it's just the truth. That's the permanent solution. Send them home. Tell them never to come back in. Forbid them from entering the country again. You know, because I nearly would go down the lines of the Treason Act in Finland, that he was trying to commit an act of terror. That's how I nearly go. If we need to go down that line, I say that should be probably the line they should go down as. If he is a Finnish citizen, they should go with the Treason Act. Where they can remove his passport and stuff and Finnish identity and stuff like that. Nearly would go as far as that. But yeah, so in fairness, a lot of people are taking the side of Sanna Marin here. And so rightly so. Everybody's kind of saying it's not right. Even the opposition in government are saying it's not right that she had to go through hell and back. And it is true. Like, it isn't right. You know, it's such a public, you know, unnecessary, because it is really unnecessary. That it has to be literally everywhere. So it's good that everybody's on the same page. And I think everybody, regardless of the political, it's the same with how when the time in Parliament was splashed with paint, etc., etc. I think everybody, like regardless of what political divide you are in Finland, if you're with the true Finns, etc., etc., I think everybody agrees that she shouldn't have to go through this. And, you know, this shouldn't have happened in the first place. And everybody's fucking waging that Jaman is not being named, and that he's been protected. You know, like, it's just straight up the truth. That he has anonymity and stuff like that. It's just not. It's not right. So there's just a huge, like I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's on another level, pretty much. Like, it's insane. Like, it's generally insane if you look at the Finnish media. Like, it's generally mad. It's just crazy stuff. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's just a huge media. Like, it's insane. Like, I can't think of it ever been such a thing in Ireland like that. But it's just insane. But yeah. Just refresh. But that's what happened. I probably didn't want the listen to me talk about it, but that's what I'm saying. It's madness. But I do have a video up on it I put up just when I came home. If anybody wants to watch it. Because that explains more. There's a few things probably left out here and there. But it explains more. But yeah, it's total bullshit, if you ask me. Because it was unnecessary. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind if it was a court case. First of all, I don't think the media should have been there. You know, in the courtroom taking pictures 100 miles an hour. You know, especially because again, it's unnecessary. It really, really is unnecessary. And not to mention, you know, it's totally unnecessary. And then the man, I wouldn't mind if they were taking pictures of the man, but the man has his Facebook, and they wanted his Facebook, and they won't come out now. The judges, do you think they will come out and say he's such a fellow, and this is his name, and this is where he's from, but not a word of that, you know. But yeah, I'm not happy with it. Let's put it that way. I don't think anybody. I think every Finnish person, any reasonable person, is pretty much saying the same as me. It's pretty unreasonable. To mind the property. Yeah, well, this is the thing. I don't think she wants to kind of have security stand up. Even when she was prime minister, she didn't have much security. You know, it was pretty well known. It's not an open secret that she didn't have many people, even when she was the prime minister. That she'd done things without security and stuff like that. She did. Like, she did go to places without security and stuff. Like, she often goes, you see, many times I've showed pictures of her. Just out in public, going to festivals and stuff, very public events, like with no security, nobody with them. She doesn't want that, I don't think so. But what I would like to know is how he found out where she lived. That's what I would like to know. How did he find it out? Because if somebody told her, or if say, for example, a police officer or something that knew where it's Santa because obviously we know where she lives, some police officers or some politician or something like that. I would like to know where he got the information from, because he couldn't just randomly went to some house and it was the White House. So where did he get the information from? That's what we should be bringing them into the police station and trying to get out of him. Well, who told him this? Because who told him this too is responsible too, in my opinion. So we need to figure that out too. And this is the question that has been raised. How did he find this out? They were all busy talking about Santa Mau and this, Santa Mau and that. But who told him? He didn't just randomly come to his mind saying, "Oh, she lives at this place." That's the question. Next question: who did it? Because we have to find them and deal with them. And not only that too. Why is there no security? Why was there no additional protection, etc., etc.? Yeah, he probably did, but he must have had some idea, because Helsinki is a big enough place. I'm sure he must have came across us somewhere. Like, he did follow for a while, but how did he find her originally? That's what I'm trying to say. He did know probably after a while when he found her, because he did stalk her around every time she left her apartment. Technically didn't stalk her and come into Dublin, etc., etc. But I did know about that when she was here in Dublin. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this was on Christmas Eve. Like, the daughter was in. He was pushing in the door, or the front door, trying to get in. Whatever he wanted to do, you can only imagine what he probably wanted to do. But the young daughter was there, and I think her parents might have been there. I'm not too sure, but definitely her boyfriend was there too at the time. So you can imagine how scary that is for a small child. I think 5 or 6 at this stage, that somebody's pushing in the door and shouting, and and not even that. I think he approached her with her child one day when she was outside. You can imagine how scary that is. And especially he can't even speak Finnish, or I don't even think he can speak English, speaking in Arabic or whatever language he speaks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. God knows what he wanted to do. He would have done if he got in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially because he did threaten. Like, you have to remember, Gordon. Like, you have to remember the one thing that I keep mentioning, because I don't think the judge fucking even like, whatever bollocks this judge is, that he shouldn't be fucking there, to be totally honest, because he's such a bollocks. I would say I would send him to prison. I would do worse to him, to be totally honest. I send him to Ukraine. In the game, of course, but like, he did it before. He has a criminal record. Like, the man has already received the 3rd restraining order in 2023. This is against an entirely different post, not Santa Mau, but another member of the public. He threatened to kill the woman and her child. Like, imagine being told he's something or threatening something and going around threatening to kill a small child. And a woman, I think she was a nurse, they said. And the police at the time deemed it as a serious threat. Like, it wasn't just something he said and he didn't have any weight behind it. Like, they deemed it as a serious threat. This fellow is still walking around Finland. That's what I'm saying. He knows, and again, unfortunately, he knows where she lives and stuff like that. Hopefully she's moved to someplace for the moment, for the time being. But still, nonetheless, this fucker's still out and about, pretty much. And he could do it to another woman. He'd done it before. Again, he'd done it before. He's a history of it. And then he threatened to kill his ex-wife too, and he threatened her and stalked her for a while and all that. Like, so he's pretty much fucking a scumbag in the nicest possible way. He's a scumbag that should be got rid of and sent into prison or sent away, to be totally honest, in the nicest possible way. Because this is not, like, Australian order is not good enough, and I hope it goes to court again. Well, I hope Santa Mau won't be there, but hopefully it goes to court again, and hopefully the judge will do the right thing and send him on his way if he's not a Finnish citizen. Because that will solve the whole issue. He go off and he can do it in his own country, wherever that may be, and see what they do over there. Because I don't think they'll be too forthcoming and they let him off with it too much. You know, and that's as simple as that. But that was in 2023, so he has a history of it. You know, that's what I'm saying. So it's not like he just randomly lost the plot and done it. You know, that's what I'm saying. So he has a history of it. He has a history of violence towards women and towards children. It's a very serious thing. It's not like he ran a red light or something. That's something minor. It's a serious thing. It is a serious thing. You know, I don't even know. They don't even tell us his name. They won't even tell us because we know straight away where he's from. He doesn't have a Finnish name, of course. Honestly, he doesn't, and that's why he hasn't the trouble. He can barely speak Finnish. You know, all the news crowds covered. He could barely speak Finnish. He could barely speak Finnish. That just says all you need to know, that he's not from Finland. And he's no. Did he commit? And this is the thing. The question too. Did he commit the crime in 2023? I presume he was in Finland. Why was he not deported for that crime? Why was he not sent home for that? The true Finns were in government in 2023. They're in government now. They're in government back in 2024. Why was he not sent home? Winkia, the Minister for Cities, said that anybody foreign national that comes to Finland and commits a crime should be sent home. And I agree with that. They should have the same here. If anybody from a foreign country comes over here and doesn't have Irish citizenship, you should be sent home. If you commit a crime, goodbye. On the plane you go. Because you were given the chance to come into society and to participate in society. And you broke that chance. He has broken it a long time ago in 2023. There'll be no excuse. They should be saying, get on the plane right now, goodbye. Never come back. But there's not. He's allowed to walk the streets, which is utterly insane. But again, that's what I'm saying. It's insane. So I hope it does go. Hopefully there will be a trial. Because I presume he'll be gotten trespassing and attempted breaking, you know, and not a public official. You couldn't charge him with stalking a public official, but stalking in general too. You could charge him with that. But that's what should be looked at. And if he's not a Finnish citizen, as I say, send him home. So that's the solution. Send him home. And simple as that. So I hope Wika stops cutting things, because Wika's too busy going around cutting people's salaries and stuff like that. So hopefully she gets around to sending him home. Because that's what she said. That's what the true Finns promised when they went into government, that any foreign national commits a crime in Finland, they're going home. So, but there's no exit. If you commit a crime, goodbye. You've lost that chance. You know, you're not getting it back. And that's total. I don't deny that for a second. They're totally right in that. I don't agree with them with what they're doing in economic terms and stuff, but they're totally right in that. If somebody from a foreign country comes over here, and any country that it's same with Irish person. If an Irish person went over to Finland now and they want to cause trouble, send them home. Simple as that, because they're not. Went over there to cause trouble. It's the same anyway. If an Irish person went anywhere and caused trouble, send them home. If it's something minor, small thing, like you won a red light or something you didn't mean to, or whatever, something like that, you could overlook that. But if somebody causes trouble, goodbye, out you go, never come back. You know, and that's proper order. I think anybody can agree with that. That's proper order. Because I bet you wherever he's from, if he's from Pakistan or wherever he's from, if we went over to cause trouble, we wouldn't get offered. We might be beheaded or something like that. They wouldn't let you off it. Simple as that. And that's it's a straight up truth. We have to be honest with ourselves. And it's just the truth. They might not like it, but it's the truth. And if Helen McEntee wants to come and barge down my door, she can if she wants. Because it's only the truth, and it's fuck with the truth. It's plain obvious there. Like, nobody can tell me that's not obvious. That they're blowing his face out. They won't release his name. The only time he's 36. You know, it's insane. It's plain as daylight. Like that's what everybody's talking about, because it's just as plain as daylight. That they won't even say his name. They're not afraid to say anything about him. They won't even say his name. Even though he's allowed to walk the streets again, you know, it's insane. So, I know, Walter, sorry, I'm getting very ways. But no, it's bullshit. Like that judge, I don't know what kind of bollocks he is, but he's some kind of bollocks, isn't it? But there is pictures. Thankfully, some members of the public got pictures of him when he was coming out. So thankfully, there's pictures online. But if I showed them here, they'd probably bang down my door, the police, and arrest me for hate crime. You know, because I don't know, maybe the judge said that the way, but there's people putting photos and videos of him. So in fairness, his face is going to be out there. Regardless, not the media are not doing it, but there's members of the public that's doing it. So hopefully, a few people notice him in the street and shout him down, and then he might leave voluntarily. You know. Because that'll teach him some manners if he gets shouted in the street down. So I'm so in very ways about it. You would be very ways. Well, it would be the same even if it was not, and if there was a woman here now getting stalked in Cavan, and then the person tried to break into her house with a small child. I still say the same. And if they blowed his face too, I would say the same. I would sit there and say the same because it's not fair. And the woman having to be politicized everywhere on every fucking newspaper, and the man gets off scot free. Beggars belief. It's beggars belief. And especially because there's evidence. There's no reasonable doubt. Like in this case, there's no reasonable doubt that's the man they have. Because 100%. There's nothing because she pretty much knew him straight away and all that. And she'd done it for weeks. He'd done it for weeks. It wasn't just one event. So and then her boyfriend or this neighbor seen the CCTV cameras doing it. Like there's a mountain of evidence. The police even seen him there. It's insane. Lunacy. And I don't know why he wore that fucking pig top in and his pig outfit. Don't know what fucking made him do that, but I presume he just thinks it's all a big joke. That's what I think he thinks it is. That's what I think he thinks it is. So I presume this will be a court case. I presume so. The reason why I'm saying, just to say the evidence that have the say that he's a foreign national, native Finnish or into that, is this: I'm not guilty of anything. The man declined in rather weak Finnish, so he can barely speak Finnish, and he doesn't look like a Finnish person anyway. They only show him behind; they won't show his face. And again, a pig outfit. I don't know what processing put a pig outfit on, but sure. I think he's just making a laugh at the whole lot of it. Like he should have been found contempt of court. Like if I was a judge, I would just say that's contempt of court. He's coming in with a big fucking dress on him. That's what he is. Yeah, so he's wondering why there was so much media. And obviously he fucking knew. He's not stupid. He fucking knew that, of course, and I said it before, there's going to be a big media sensation because it's the former Prime Minister of Finland, it's the youngest Prime Minister in the world. What do you expect? And, it's insane. Rolled his eyes, like he thinks it's all a big fucking joke. Like Santa Mountain represented herself just saying he had an interpreter. I think they said it was true. I don't know how much money it cost, thousands to have him there, the interpreter and stuff like that. Of course, he should have to pay for himself to be doing that. So that's that. I know, but it's bullshit. But whatever anybody, again, I've seen some people online saying, well, no, I hardly doubt he came in during Santa Mountain's time as an immigrant and stuff like that. He's probably been there for a long time in Finland, probably the early 2000s or something. But at the end of the day, regardless of what you say, nobody deserves to have that. Like even just to put yourself into the situation, I couldn't imagine if I was in that situation too, being in the courtroom and the press focusing on me and not the person that did the thing, that caused the whole thing to arise in the first place. Like the world taking photos of her and putting it on the newspaper, they wouldn't take photos of him because he's a foreign national. And we have to say it straight. There's no other excuse why they didn't take photos, why his face is blurred. There's no other excuse. Like what other excuse is there? Is that they're afraid of people confronting them on the street. Like this beggars belief. Like there's nothing just that's what I'm saying. It'd be different even if they're just giving answers. They won't give anything. So it's insane. But even as I said, I showed you an opposition member of parliament there that she shouldn't have to go through it in the first place. They should have done it in private session. They shouldn't have to been there in the first place. As I said to you, she wanted the private session yesterday. Like instead of going to court, and the judge said she had to go to court to get an extended, thing like that. It's insane. Well, I don't know if it's quite for help, but I don't think anybody listened to that now because people are very ways up about it. Like people are very, very ways up about it. Like it's on another level. Like that's what I'm saying. It's on the level. Like it's insane. Like people are fuming over it. That's what I'm saying. So I don't think they're going to listen to that trouble. that was a cry for help and stuff like that. Because it'd be different if it only happened, it was one occasion. He'd done it for a good while, And particularly now with Santa Mountain having to sit there and all the media take photos, etc., etc. For, um, people are very, very annoyed about it though. And so rightly so. I'm fucking very annoyed. Lucky I'm not over there at the moment. I probably would have been arrested by now. But I would have been arrested for saying something about him. But, he wouldn't have been arrested. It's beggars belief. Because who knows, they could have the Gestapo at my door in the morning to arrest me for hate crime. I would say the same if he was a Finnish citizen. It's a joke that he hasn't been remanded in custody or he hasn't been put to prison. It's a joke. That's what I still say. He shouldn't have sent to prison for the time being, that's what I take, That's my take, and I think majority of people take the same. That he should have been sent. He should have been sent to prison for the time being, and to the court, whatever court case or whatever. That's a simple stat. At least that was the least they could have done for a few weeks, or sent them away somewhere, wherever they wanted to send them, up to another part of Finland or something like that. But it does arise question too, why the former Prime Minister of Finland has no security, has nobody there, pretty much. But as I said earlier on, she wouldn't want that. Even when she was Prime Minister, she didn't have much security. And it was an open secret that there wasn't much security around her at public events and stuff. There wasn't much. So, that has to be reason why he could do such a thing. I don't even know he's Pakistan, but he's not from Finland originally. You get what I'm saying? So I presume he's Pakistan. That's what the majority of people assume too, that he's Pakistani. Or he's from India, he's from somewhere there. I don't know. We don't know ourselves, I don't think. The judge won't tell. Nobody's telling us. That's what I'm saying. It'd be different if they came out now and said, yes, he's from Pakistan. Here's his name. Here's where he lives. Perfect. But as the fact of the matter, they don't want to say anything. They only said he's 36. That's it. Fuck off, everybody. That's pretty much it. So straight away, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Because they won't say anything. It'd be different if they come out and directly said it. But they won't. No, this is not the same guy, no. He's from the Czech Republic. No, he's not. He wasn't. That was only a minor thing. It's not the same fellow, no. Because that already went to court, etc., etc. But even back then, just take for example, Sandra Moran could have pressed extra charges, if she wanted to. She didn't. So he was only found €400. He only had to pay €400. He didn't have to do anything else. Because Sandra Moran didn't bring she didn't bring any other case. She didn't look for a restraining order. She didn't look to prosecute him or to sue him or anything like that. So pretty much he was only fined for it. Because she didn't ask for anything else to be done about it, pretty much. The only reason why I say she asked something to be done now, because she's afraid for probably a young daughter. And because he nearly banged in her front door and he knows where she lives and stuff like that. So I wouldn't blame the woman for that, to be totally honest. But the other thing was only a minor, small thing. They go on the internet, on email, it's not as bad as this. That's what I. But even at that, he probably should have not got off for just a €400 fine. But look at that's what was done. But yeah, I do have a video up about it. It might not be the whole explanation of everything. But there's no word from the current Finnish Prime Minister or the Deputy Prime Minister. That's what's surprising. But yeah, so there's not much more known, as I say, about him. So we don't really know anything really about him. We should know. We should know at least his name in him. So I don't know. Well, people have photos of him in it, so we know what he looks like in general. I presume he probably will go back if he doesn't get prison or whatever the case may be. He'll go home or he'll go somewhere. Because I presume the majority of Finnish people know what he looks like. on social media, and not the only fan on the street, but a lot of them would, if they want social media, don't know what he looks like. Sandals on my screen. But yeah, no, I don't know if you were here for this. What is it? Sorry. I don't know if we're here for what I basically watched the video from earlier on because I not go through it all again. But yeah, yeah, a lot to say about it. um, but yeah, we'll stay for another few minutes. I'm probably going to take off this topic because it's too fucking warm. Excuse my language. Apologies for that. No, we're not saying that now. No, it's too warm. No, it is far too warm here. Da-da-da-da. Let's see, you just need to check some. So there'll be a live stream tomorrow. We'll be trying to talk about other stuff now. We'll try anyway. We'll see if that works. But wasn't that not to mention there'll be more information tonight come out and stuff. So we see what happens there. But we have a lot of other things to talk about too tomorrow. Who? Oh, you asked him? Yeah, a former husband. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, anything else to say before we go for tonight? Terrible wife. I don't know. I don't know what was the case. I think more. I don't know. She never really spoke about it too much, but I presume it's because the prime ministership and stuff like that. It was a lot of work, and they barely seen each other. I think she even said it was she barely seen her husband for nearly a month because during the talks with NATO and stuff like that, she was all the time over in Brussels and over here and over there. So that's the thing. So I presume that was it. And still probably to a certain extent too. Because her work with the Tony Blair Institute and stuff, it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's a very demanding job. You don't have much time to yourself, I suppose. Even went to Prime Minister, it was a very demanding job. You know. Yeah, she was incredibly busy. That's what I'm saying. Like even she said, but she didn't say much about it. But they do get on well. Like they still get on very well. Uh, no, well, she has custody of her child. No, she has custody. Yeah, she's total custody of her child. But they share custody. But she has the mother usually always keeps the child. So that's where she is. She's with Sana. Um, yeah. That's what I'm saying. She was with the child when this thing happened. But the child lives with her. No, she didn't abandon the Finnish people. No, she didn't do that. You could argue they abandoned her, but I think they regret that now after the Cohen Finnish government. But I don't think she abandoned them. No. Um, I don't think anybody really sees it like that. She abandoned them. I don't think anybody really does. Yeah, I think her mother looks after the child majority of the time. Clean up the mess. It seems like it caused the bigger mess. Especially because a lot of people now are questioning why this fellow was not deported a long time ago. Because the true Finns have been there for 500 something days. This fellow should have been on the top of the list to be sent home. So no, they didn't clean up any mess. The economy is worse than it ever was. There's something like 12 billion in deficit. There's more cuts than ever. Like it's not bussing. In every way, it's not bussing. Then not to mention the cocaine in the parliament and stuff like that. That still hasn't went away. People are fucking raging about that. I could go on. The fellow drunk on the plane. People are still fucking raging that he hasn't resigned. Everybody's just fucking very mad. So and then obviously this court case. Now people are very mad. So everybody's pretty pissed. So it's not going well at all. Like even if you just look at the ratings, it's not going well. Yeah, she looks after. Because Anna said too about one time that her daughter's being looked after by her mother and stuff like that. Sandra Moun's father's an alcoholic and stuff like that, so he wouldn't be much use. When Sandra was born, she was barely one at the time when she moved up to Tapway and stuff like that from Helsinki and stuff like that. The reason why, because her father was very violent and drug fellow, and he still is. He's still an alcoholic. I never heard Sandra ever mention about her father. I presume she never just watches it. She never talks about it with herself too much anyway. But I presume that's why she never talked about it, because she probably doesn't get on well with the father. I don't think she never. Again, I can't quote whatever she said because she never said anything about the father. But the father was always abusive and stuff like that. To the mother when she was younger, when she was very very young. I mean, like a few months old and stuff like that. So I presume she just probably doesn't get on with him now. So I don't think I got notifications from him yet. I think YouTube's annoyed with me. YouTube might not be happy with me. If you watch my video from earlier on, I don't think they're happy with me, YouTube. I think YouTube's not very happy. Interesting. Well, not really daddy issues. She was barely a few months old. Like she was barely probably 15 months old, and the father was abusing the mother and stuff like that. He was a violent alcoholic, like extremely violent alcoholic. I don't know how bad he is now. She never spoke about it. That's what I'm saying. But she was. Family friends have said about it and stuff like that. And that's why the mother moved up to Tapway with no money and stuff like that. So pretty much she went up to Tapway. And that's why Santa grew up in Tapway and stuff. She was born in Helsinki, moved to Tapway when she was 15 months old and stuff like that. So barely anything. But I presume she never really got on with the father. I presume we don't know. We never seen the father. We've seen her mother before one thing. We never seen the father. She never will anyway, because I highly doubt she ever bring it up. I presume she probably doesn't even know. She probably never talked to him. Ways to be woke. I don't think so now. I don't think she was ways to be woke. I wouldn't classify that as being ways to be woke. Was a while back. Which was a while back? Yeah. Oh, mother. Yeah. The mother was lesbian. Yeah. Yeah. They did. Yeah. I didn't read the top comment. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Hello. Yeah. Too much. No, but you're right there, Gordon. It is the truth. Yeah. But that was about when Santa was about 3 or 4 or something like that. Like when she was a bit younger, because she moved up to Tapley when she was 15 months old or so, 16, something like that. And then she met another woman, not Santa Mountain, her mother, when she was 4 or something like that, when Santa was 4 and stuff like that. Who sounds like me, I didn't. So yeah, I actually watched some of it, yeah. But I don't think I much of it, because again, you have to remember, particularly Santa Mel will never say it, but she said it before, oftentimes, but growing up and vague stuff, not too much detail. But she would never say it. But when she grew up, her mother and even another woman that was in the relationship with her mother, they didn't have two pennies to rub together. Like they grew up in the hood of Tapway, like really poor, the most poorest area in Tapway. Pretty much the hood. Pretty much had no money and stuff like that. So, so it was very poor childhood. She didn't have much money and stuff like that. Like very, very poor, like really poor. So it was a credit to her that she got to where she did. Yeah, that's a whole different kettle of fish. But I watched the video from earlier on because we get into a big discussion about it all. Because I pretty much went out literally for the last hour on about it, and on I went. It's a long story. Let's put it that way. But yeah, no, she pretty much grew up with nothing, as I said. So it's a credit to her to get to where she did. Because she had to work 2 jobs when she was young. When she left secondary school, when she was during secondary school, she worked jobs, and when she left secondary school, she worked 2 jobs to make ends meet and stuff. Because the mother, looked after her too when she was younger and stuff. So she didn't come from a rich family and stuff like that. She didn't grow up with airs and graces and stuff like that. It must have been a difficult time in her. She never talked about it. She talked about only for the Finnish welfare state, etc., etc. She wouldn't probably be there where she is today because she was the first person in her family to go to college, which was a big thing for her family because none of them ever went to college. So, so I wouldn't say she was woke. Be totally honest, that's what I'm getting at. Because definitely majority of her life, probably she's 39 now. For about nearly 20% of her life, she probably grew up without probably food and stuff like that. Like literally probably did. Because the mother got food, food when she first moved up the Tapway, they got food stamps and stuff like that. So it must have been pretty bad. When she first moved with the father, because the father spent all the money on drink and stuff. They wouldn't have had any money when they moved up to Tapway first of all. It's a long story. Like, but Santa Mountain, you never hear Santa Mountain saying. Santa Mountain say the fakest things about her childhood because there's more on the problems, not on the individual. She never would say it, but we know about it from our friends and different people saying it. But she never would say it. I couldn't imagine ever her come out saying stuff like that. Maybe in her book she might, but I don't think she ever will. Go over this. Yeah, I'll not go over. I might get. Probably, if I went over, I'd probably end up getting arrested. Your man wouldn't. Yeah, but I don't think so. I don't think it'd be a big thing anyway. Cat type. What do you mean you cat type? You're on. It's also you're on the road or something like that. It's a long story. If you watch the video from earlier on, it explains it all. I even watched this live stream back when it's over. At the beginning, I went into a lot of detail. See, the worst thing is I've said all I wanted to say, pretty much. And stalker too. Don't forget that, and stalker. Likes cougars. No, I don't like cougars. They're very dangerous animals. Cougars. I hear Dark Fight Bay you had a bad encounter with a cougar in a mission in GTA 5. We don't want to go near cougars. The mountain lions are too dangerous. If you know that reference, I don't know if anybody knows that reference, but if you know the reference, you know what I'm talking about. But no, the thing that shocked me the most, because I heard it 2 days before it was public, before it became public knowledge, I heard about it. Because see, I'm talking to people from Finland at the moment about me going over soon enough, not soonish, but so I knew about it then. But I didn't know about it when I was in Dublin. When I was listening to it last week. I didn't know about it at all. It just goes to show you don't know really what's happening behind the scenes with people. Her boyfriend was there too. I don't know what. I don't know what was her mother. I think her mother might have been there. I don't know where else. No, I'm all right, thank you. But yeah, so I don't know. We don't have any more details of who was there, but I know her neighbours because it was said that her neighbours went out when they heard the commotion and stuff like that. Yeah, but the police were quick enough getting down there. But yeah, do watch the video. Anybody that wasn't here earlier on, I know it probably was bad timing doing the live stream and didn't get notifications. Do watch the video I put out earlier on. There might be some details that I didn't put into it. But do watch it because it'll be more it is 12 minutes long. It's a good while. But it's better just to listen to it and then you'll be up to date with it because it's definitely be talking about this for the next few days. Or even just look up any article from the Finnish broadcasting company, YAL. Because there's multiple articles from every fucking place in the country. Take over. But yeah, no, it wasn't a good Christmas Eve for Santa and all that. Or her child, unfortunately, too. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there. No, I'm fine. Can't catch a break. Yeah, no. What's the worst thing about it is that obviously the thing was probably traumatic before, of course. But then the media circus about it now, I suppose. That's the worst thing about it. Like Sandra Man probably tell you herself, she wouldn't want this probably out public. And then the media found out and here we are, Like the whole thing about it was that it was all big media circus now. It's all big media circus. And it didn't have to be. That's what I'm trying to say. It didn't have to be there. Well, not a policeman at the door, but somebody close by, not saying sitting at the door all the time. I don't think you would want that anyway. But they should have some kind of thing. Or even, I don't even know what's even panic buttons or whatever. Oh, that's good value. We got caught with leftover ones. But here, listen, lads and lasses, I think we'll leave it there. We'll be definitely back tomorrow. This is probably the big thing tomorrow, too. Yeah, so we'll pretty much leave it there for tonight. Western lives, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But see, there never was really any thing before this. Like Hannah Maron, even when she was prime minister, she went off the things without any security. Like she went to nightclubs and stuff without any security when she was prime minister, even though she probably shouldn't have went without anybody, like literally anybody knowing where she was. And she walked too from the parliament to the prime minister's residence many times on her own, in the middle of Helsinki. When she was the prime minister, so she probably shouldn't have done that. But as a fact that there was nobody really there, but it's not a common thing. It's the same with presidents and stuff. They just go about their everyday life. Like Sandra Mountain, you come across her doing things. Like loads of people came across her just going about her day to day life. And that's what she was doing during the summer, just going about her day to day business, like on the streets and stuff. Nobody with her. The same with the ex presidents in Finland and stuff like that. They go do different things. They don't have security. It's not that common, for ministers and stuff to not have security and stuff. But obviously that needs to be kind of looked into, I think, a bit. Like I'm not saying like somebody standing over 24/7. She wouldn't want that anyway. But some kind of thing. Especially this fellow, because the best thing, as I say, for this fellow was stalking her, is to send him home, wherever he's from, or put him to prison, whichever one, either one will work. It'd be a solution, a permanent solution for a while, if he went to prison at least. We see what happens, I suppose, but we see, obviously, be more said about this. It's going to be probably a court case for trespass and then criminal damage and whatever else. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, take care. Enjoy the Western night. We'll be back tomorrow. Most likely 7 or so. Give or take, something like that. Hopefully, yeah. And that's about it, yeah. There's nothing else. We're pretty much at the top of that. So we're pretty much on about this for the next probably year. We did end like this is going to go on. Like it's not going to go away anytime soon. This thing in the Finnish media is going to be there for a good while because it's the biggest. It's quite literally it's the biggest thing at the moment in Finland, and probably will be too. It definitely been the Irish papers probably soon too, just with all the uproar about it. Because there's uproar like you never seen. I never seen such uproar, and it was so rightly so. There's uproar. So rightly so, really rightly so. I can see why people are just screaming from the mountaintops, and they're right to do it. 100% right. There's no doubt about that. So we should see, but definitely be in the Irish papers too, and be in the Irish media soon. Hopefully, though. Even though we shouldn't have got this far, but it probably will be. But anyway, take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I talk to you tomorrow. Good night.